What is up, degenerates? Happy Saturday. Happy November. Fall is in the air. It's a little chilly down here, even in Florida. So I know you guys up north are even colder. But today we're going to do the predictions on the declarations for this week for over 100 high yield ETFs. So we're going to jump right in. First, we'll talk about REC shares. They declare Monday after the close. X date is Tuesday. Payday is Wednesday. We'll start with NVII, which is a NVIDIA-based ETF. They're averaging 26 cents per week, which is a 41, 42% yield. What did we give them? Do this, and boom. We gave them 28 cents. A little bit of a raise. That is a 44% yield. TSII, which is a Tesla-based fund, highest yielder of the REC shares at 72%. They're averaging 40 cents. And we're going to give them 36 cents. Their IV is lower than their yield. The IV on Tesla is 54.3%. I get the IVs from Market Chameleon. They're kind of all over the place if you look on different sites. But that one seems to be the most accurate to me. So I brought them closer to that yield, but it's still a 63% yield for the prediction. MSII, which is a MicroStrategy based fund, they're averaging 7 cents, 26% yield. I'm giving them 12 cents. Their IV is higher, 61% on MicroStrategy. So I'm bringing them up a little bit. They've been paying pretty weak, so let's see if they up that a little bit. I gave them 12 cents, 43% yield. COII, which is a Coinbase-based fund, averages 11 cents per week. We gave them 19, big raise, because again, they're the lowest yield of the REC shares, 24%. The IV on Coinbase is 60%, so I bumped them up to a 42% yield, 19 cents. So the average of REC shares is 41% yield. I'm giving them 48% average for this coming week. Let's go to YieldMax. They've got the most. We'll start with the Group 1, which is the old weeklies. They've always been weekly. They also added FEET and FIVE, which was once monthly. That is now Group 1. They declare Tuesday. X date is Wednesday. Payday is Thursday. Group 1 entails these 12. So let's jump right in. Chippy. Last payment, they went from 57 cents to 46 cents. So what did we give them? 48 cents. FEET. Last payment was 34 cents. We're giving them 36 cents. FIVE, again, these are FEET and FIVE are the Dorsey Wright featured 5, hybrid 5. And FIVE paid 24 cents last week. And I am giving them spreadsheet issues here. Yeah, big time. There it comes. There we go. Sorry about that. I gave him 35 cents. GPTY keeps disappearing. Again, none of this is financial advice, guys. You guys know that. Here we go. GPTY paid 32 cents last week. I am giving them 37 cents. LFGY paid 58 cents. I think I kept them right there because they've been pretty solid. 58 cents. That's an 86% yield for LFGY. GPTY was 37. Yep. LFGY 58, 86% yield. QDTY, which is 32% yield. I think I kept them right there as well. 29 cents, 32% yield. RDTY, which is a trades on the Russell. 33 cents was the last one. I gave them 34 cents. SDTY, which is they do the S&P. Last payment was 22 cents. That was a jump from the week prior. 18 cents. Salty, which is they're short on those funds, like Alti, but funds they're short on. They paid 61 cents last week. That's they're averaging 79% yield. They kept them right there. Yep, 57 cents, 79% yield. Alti, there's a lot of hate on Alti. I still love Alti. They're averaging 94% yield based on the last 3 payments. They were paying 9 cents. Last week was 8. But I'm going to bring it back up to 9, I believe. Yep, 9 cents. YMAG, MAG 7. Last payment was 13 cents. I'm giving them 18 cents. YMAX, that is my now 4th biggest holding. It was my 3rd, but I've been buying iKoi, which you guys know, and that is now my 2nd largest holding, iKoi. My largest holding is still TSYY. And we'll get to the yield boost in a little bit. But YMAX, last payment was 19 cents. I'm giving them 18 cents, 76% yield. Abney, now this is the group 2. They declare Wednesday, equity is Thursday, payday is Friday. Abney's averaging 10 cents, which is a 55% yield. If I can highlight this properly. Like I said, averaging 10 cents, I gave him 10 cents. AIYY, this is a $2.41 fund. Averages 3 cents a week. You think that's weak, but the yield is good. They're averaging 67%. I'm giving them 65%, 3 cents. AMDY, they're currently the top yielder of the Yield Max funds, 116% yield. AMD's been all over the place, way up, way down, very volatile. They're averaging 22 cents per week. I gave them 17 cents, 91% yield. Brought them down a little bit. Amazon, averages 13 cents per week. I gave them 11 cents. Apple, which is an Apple-based fund, averages 10 cents. That's a 37% yield. I gave them 8 cents, 30% yield. Babo, I love Babo. Averages 23 cents, 76% yield. Again, that's a cheap fund. Well, it's not cheap, 15 bucks. I gave him 19 cents, 63% yield. BRKC, Berkshire, that is the lowest yielder of the Yield Max funds, but it could be the safest one. You kind of get what you pay for with these funds. Averages 15 cents, which is a 17% yield. And the spreadsheet is acting up again. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. It's not letting me get to here. Talk amongst yourselves while I figure this out. I'm just kind of moving around a little. Work. Major problemos. Well, let's see. There it goes. BRKC, 17% yield average. Oop, I didn't highlight anything. There we go. Let's try this again. There it goes. I gave him 14 cents. 16% yield. Bringing them down. Coney. Love Coney. That is my fourth now largest holding. Third. YMAX is fourth. Averages 10 cents a week. That is a 72% yield. I gave him 8 cents. 66% yield. Circo. Averages 114%. The IV on Circle is 108%. So imagine I brought them down. It lets 91 cents, 111% yield. Yep. Crash, inverse Tesla. If you're bearish on Tesla, that's a good fund. Averaging only 4 cents, but it's $2.90 a share. That's a 76% yield. 4 cents, 65% yield. Based on the price, current price. Carvani averages 49 cents, 79% yield. I gave him 43 cents, 70% yield. Dips, which is the inverse NVIDIA, averages 5 cents. It's only a $5 fund. That's a 49% yield. And I'm going to give him 5 cents, 48. Disney. Let's see, they average 8 cents a share, that's 33%. I gave 9 cents, 36%. DraftKings, Dre, averages 47 cents. Gonna crap out on me again. I gave 45 cents, 72% yield. Let's scroll down. Yield max is a bunch, but we'll get through them. Phoebe, Facebook, Meta, averages 13 cents. I gave them 11. That's a 42% yield. Fiat averages 4 cents. Again, $2.48 fund. That's 80% yield for you haters. I do own Fiat. It's the only inverse I own. I've been looking at Winter, but currently haven't bought any Winter yet. But Winter is coming. So Fiat averages 4 cents, and it's going to crap out on me again. What is going on? Probably should just uncover them all when I can. Let's do that. So, well, shoot. Bear with me, peeps. All kinds of issues. I had audio issues too. If it's staticky too. Here we go. I'm just going to uncover them. Fiat averages 4. I gave him 3. GDXY averages 13. I gave him 13. GameStop, 55 cents. I gave him 50. GUI averages 14 cents. I gave him 12. HIYY averages 69 cents. I gave him 70. That's a 99% yield. That's hims and hers. Hui, Robinhood, averages $1.19. 90. Again, that's a $65 fund. So that their NAV has gone up. And their distributions are great. But I gave them $1.05, 83% yield. JPMO, JP Morgan averages 9 cents. I gave them 8 cents. RO averages 33 cents, 109% yield. I gave them 32 cents, 104% yield. Murni, Moderna averages 3 cents, 78%. I gave them 3 cents, which now comes out to 82%. Because I only, I'm rounding to cents. I'm not giving them, the hundreds and thousandth cents that they declare. MSFO, Microsoft averages 9 cents. I gave them 8. Misty. Everyone loves Misty, or everyone hates Misty. They paid 21 cents, then 19 cents. Still 102% yield. I gave them 16 cents, 81% yield. Bringing them back down to earth. I think the dollar a month Misty days are over. Netflix. Average 11 cents. I gave them 10 cents. And again, I'm just going to uncover a bunch at a time. If it'll let me. There we go. Nvidia, do we do Nvidia? Average is 14, I gave him 14. OARC, average is 11, I gave him 9 cents. These are cents. Play-T, average is 91 cents. That's a 74% yield. I gave him 86 cents, a 70% yield. PayPal, 10 cents average. I gave him 9. Robly, which is Roblox. Average is 60 cents. I brought them down to 51 because their IV is much lower than what they're paying. That's a 63% yield. A little bit back to earth there. Ready on Reddit. Average is 78 cents. 97% yield. I gave them 67 cents. 83% yield. So I brought them way down. Simsi, 26 cents. 92% yield. I gave them 24. 87% yield. Snowflake. Averages 22 cents. I gave him 19. Tesla averages 12 cents. I gave him 11. 66% yield. I love Tesla. The distributions I've been paid on Tesla have way outweighed my average price, my cost basis. So I'm underwater on it, but it's overpaid the distributions. So if I sold it now, I'd still have profit. If you count all that in. TSMY averages 20 cents. I gave him 16. Winter averages 57 cents, 91% yield. I gave him 47 cents, 76% yield. Zomo, ExxonMobil, averages 7 cents. I gave him 6. XYZY averages 11. I gave him 11. Ybit averages 11. I gave him 8. 48% yield I'm giving him. And YQs, that's a short NASDAQ fund, averages 4 cents, 18% yield. I gave him 4 cents, and now it's a 19% yield because, again, it's rounded. And this is actually calculating to the thousandths and all that jazz. So anyway, YieldMax is averaging 65% of all their funds, the yield, and I'm bringing that down to 59% if you average all of them. Let's go to Defiance. And again, I'm just going to uncover all these and give it away because of our technical issues. If it lets us, and it's not going to. Come on now. Talk amongst yourselves. Let me do this and come back. That's a chart on Coinbase. Oh yeah, Coinbase was up Friday, 4.65%. You can see all the others were up 4 to 5%. Double leverage CONL was up 8%. COIY was not down 1.15. Ignore this. They were up 1.84. Again, they don't capture upside when it moves big like that. And of course, fiat is the inverse, YieldMax inverse on Coinbase. They were down 2.42. Let's go back and see if this is going to work. I apologize. Here we go. I'm just going to uncover all. MST averages 12 cents, 129% yield. Solid. I'm giving them 9 cents, 95% yield. AB averages 60% yield. I'm giving them 41 cents, 63% yield. Raise there. ETHI or ETHI average 112% yield. 28 cents, 3 cents, 91% yield. Hemi and hers, they are the highest yielder of Defiance, 163% based on average of the last 3 days. Last payment was 40 cents. I gave him 37 cents. Still 132% yield. So I'm picking them to continue to be the winner. Catch my top 10 tomorrow. That might be on there. I go over the top 10 yielders of all the, of all of them. And you might see Hemi on there. Who I averages 36 cents. I gave him 35 cents. PLT averages 24 cents. I gave him 26 cents. SMCC averages 41 cents, 96% yield. I gave him 39 cents, 89% yield. QLDY, this one pays twice a week, remember. And if we scroll over, they declare Wednesdays and Fridays. X date is also Wednesday and Friday, so you don't know you can't buy the distribution. You're too late once they declare. And then they pay Thursday and Monday. So they declare Wednesday, Friday, pay Thursday, Monday. Twice a week for you suckers. Okay, last payment was 19 cents. I gave him 19 cents. GLDY, last payment was 22 cents. I gave him 21. IWMY, 22 cents. Last payment, I gave him 23 cents. QQQY, last payment was 18 cents. I gave them 20. USOY, which is a U.S. oil fund, last payment was 8 cents. I gave them 9 cents. WDTE, last payment was 20 cents. I gave them 21 cents. So for Defiance, the average yield is 76%. I'm giving them 69%. So bringing them down as a whole, but a couple you saw went up. Yield boost, yield boost. And again, I'm going to uncover all these at one time if I can because of our technical issues. Boom. All right, COYY. That is the top yielder of yield boost, 154% based on average of the last three payments, which is 40 cents as the average. I gave him 36 cents, but still, that's 137%. HOYY averages 137%. I'm bringing them up to 140% with a 61 cent payment. TSYY, my largest holding, averages 20 cents. I'm giving them 18 cents, 121% yield. Again, these trade on double leverage. So you're going to get higher IVs, you're going to get higher yields. Let's see. TSYY, we did 18 cents, 121% yield. SMYY, 147% yield. Their IV is higher than that on the SMCX, which is double leverage. So I gave them 70 cents, 157% yield. I'm picking them to be the winner this upcoming week. And you might see that on the top 10. Well, the top 10 is based on what they've paid, not what I guess. Again, not financial advice. Don't go based on my predictions. A lot of them are very wrong. But it's fun. And AMYY, 96% average. I gave them 110, 55 cents, up from 48 cent average. Why? Because the IV is much higher than what they're paying. And they always try to kind of pay the IV, which is kind of an estimate of what they can make in income. XBTY averages 107%. I gave them 95%, 28 cents. NVYY, NVIDIA double leverage, averages 44 cents. I gave them 43 cents, 93% yield. PLYY, Palantir based. PTIR is the double leverage they trade on. And again, they just do credit put spreads. Completely capped on the upside. But you're making income. Averages 45 cents. I gave him 54 cents, 114% yield. BBYY, that's a new one. On Babo, they paid twice now. 46 cents, 47 cents. I gave him 46 cents, 100% yield. MTYY, last payment was 33. I gave him 37 cents. TQQY, which is on the Qs, 18 cents, 18 cents, and I gave him 19 cents. YSPY averages 18 cents. I gave them 18 cents. AZYY paid 20. The last three have all been 22 cents. I gave them 25 cents because they are underpaying based on the IV. That's a 53% yield I'm giving them. FBYY Meta only paid twice, 23 and 24 cents. I gave them 29 cents because again they're not paying quite the IV, so I gave them a raise. Annualized yield average of yield boost 99.97%. I'm giving them 100.44%. That is yield boost. Income blast. This is from Tuttle Capital. They've only got two funds out, BITK and MSTK. That's IBIT and MicroStrategy. And BITK after the first payment was like almost 300% yield. That has come down. Their last three have been 30 cents, 15 cents, 18 cents. Let me uncover these while I can. I think I gave them 19 cents. 19 cents, 46% yield. MSTK only paid once, 50 cents, 109% yield based on the current price. Bringing them down to 39 cents, 85% yield. And last but not least, let's see if we can uncover these. We'll do it while we can. And it let us, thank goodness. Go back to the top. WPay. And with Roundhill, you can get paid every day, if with various funds. WPay declares Monday, ex-date's Tuesday, payday's Wednesday. Averages 73 cents, 71% yield. I gave him 74. YBTC, Bitcoin. Why can't I see? There we go. YBTC. Again, this is a Tuesday declaration, and YETH is also a Tuesday declaration, pays Thursday. YBTC, last payment was 29 cents. I gave him 35 cents, a little raise there. YETH, 27 cents last payment. I gave him 32. They got a raise. XDTE, these are their Wednesday declaration, Friday payers. XDTE, QDTE, and RDTE. 25 cents was the last one. I gave him 22. QDTE, 23 cents was the last. I gave him 21. RDTE, 24 cents was the last one. I gave him 23. Maggie, they declare Thursday and pay Monday. I think that's right. Thursday, Friday, then they pay Monday. And then the rest are the single stocks. They declare Friday, ex-date is Monday, payday is Tuesday. So you can get a Monday through Friday payment from Roundhill with the various funds. So Maggie paid 37 cents. I gave him 30 cents. MAGS is their underlying. That's a MAG 7 from Roundhill. They do options on that. AAPW is Apple. Averages 24 cents. I gave him 22 cents. AMDW, $1.31 average. Of course, it's a $71 fund. That thing's gone up. 95% yield. I gave him $1.11, 80% yield, bringing them down because the IV's not there. AMZW, Amazon, last payment was 40 cents. I gave him 35. ARMW, brand new, had one payment, $1.17, 116% yield. That is the Roundhill winner of the week. Might make the top 10. I think it might. I think we had 113% was our number 10, and went up from there. So they might. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Hopefully you don't have any technical issues. ARMW, I brought them down to 93 cents, 92% yield. EGW, by the way, there's 4 new Roundhill funds that made their first payment. Well, first declaration Friday, won't pay till Tuesday, but AVGW averages 69 cents. I gave them 60 cents. BABW, that's another new one. First declaration was 97 cents. I'm bringing them Oh, well, the IV's wrong on that. Let's fix that real quick. Again, I go million. And that is Baba, Alibaba. So just do Baba. And you can see the 30-day IV is 51. And we have 5. So let's change that to 51, and that will change our payment to 74 cents. Down from 97 cents. 74% yield. BRKW, Berkshire, that's the lowest yielder. Still 23%. I mean, you know, you can't beat these funds. And they're so there's so many of them. You can pick and choose what you invest in. If you're just shooting for yield like I do, if you want growth, there's some growth ones, and they all pay nice yields. So COIW, Coinbase, 65 cents last payment. I gave him 53. And a new one is Costco, COSW, 24 cents they declared. I gave him 22 cents. GOO averages 55 cents. I gave him 49 cents. HOOW, that one's just huge. It launched at $40 in June. Now it's at 76, and it's paying an almost 82% yield on average. I gave him $1.13, 77% yield. Meta averages 48 cents. I gave him 37 cents. MSFW, Microsoft, averages 31 cents. I gave him 25 cents. MSTW, MicroStrategy, averages 37 cents. I gave him 32 cents. NFLW, Netflix, not National Football League. I gave them, their average is 31 cents. I gave them 26 cents. NVDW, NVIDIA, their IV's gone way down. NVIDIA IV is 47%, according to Market Chameleon. And they've been paying 54%, so I brought them down to 50%, 50 cents. PLTW, Palantir, averages 89 cents, but the last payment was 68 cents. So I brought them down to 76 cents, 81% yield. TSLW, Tesla, last payment was 43 cents. The average is 62 cents, but I did bring them down to 51 cents, which is a 69% yield. And the last fund we're going to cover is a new one, UBEW, based on Uber. They declared 77 cents. I gave them 62 cents because Uber IV is only 45%. 62 cents for Uber. UBEW. Ubu. We'll call it what we want. So the average for Round Hill funds is 60.76%. I'm giving them 52.64%. I also cover Bitwise, but they don't declare for a while. In fact, they declare the Wednesday. Normally they declare Thursday. X date is Friday. Pay day is Tuesday for Bitwise, but only once a month. Their next one is they declare on Wednesday because that Thursday is Thanksgiving, and then Friday will still be X date, payday will still be Tuesday. But that's puts you in December. So there's no payment in November, but there's going to be 2 in December. December 2nd, I think, and then, after Christmas. And Bitwise, I'll just show you real quick. I do invest in iCoin. Current yield 196. That's degenerate. It was number 1 on my top 10. Will it remain number 1 tomorrow? We'll see. Watch the video. So make sure you hit the like, subscribe, turn the notifications to on. Give me some comments. I appreciate you guys. I love talking about this stuff, whether you watch it or not. I'm still talking about it. But let me know what you think in the comments. Anyway, have a great Saturday. Tomorrow will be top 10. Much shorter video. Hopefully no technical difficulties. Hopefully the audio is good. Let me know. Have a wonderful day.